WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Edradour 22-year-old Oloroso Cask Finish Highlands single malt Scotch whiskey, natural color, natural cask strength, 55.8%. 328 Euro. Whiskybase number 196985. So, this is a fairly unique bottle, and I'm going to do something, and some of you are going to probably go, Jason, are you crazy? And I'm going to go, yes, I am. So that was a very, very healthy pour here. Good. I'm going to compare it to a 27-year-old Glendronach cask strength single cask from a Oloroso Sherry Puncheon. Now this is cask number 7274, and it was actually exclusively bottled for France. I have no idea how I got it. I do know where I bought it, but I had no idea when I bought it that it was exclusively for France. It's Le Maison de Whisky. And this is now going for a price of over 550 euros. Now, I did bottle shares with both of these, and my bottle share price here was then $4.99, which I thought was extremely expensive, but apparently I was a little bit on the cheap side because other people are doing it for 10-20% more. All right, so what do we have here? I'm looking for a Glendronach single cask killer. Yeah, a couple years ago, my whiskey of the year, my single malt Scotch whiskey of the year was a Glendronach. I think it was a 23-year-old single cask from Glendronach. It was just heavenly perfect. And ever since then, I put them up on a pedestal, and many of the single barrels from Glendronach, 20 plus years of age, have just been fantastic. And so I'm looking for something that's cheaper. 500 euros, 328 euros. Is that cheaper? Well, it is cheaper. Is it cheap? Is it inexpensive? No, this is still a fairly high price thing here. Now, the second video I'm going to do today, at least I'm going to do it today, you'll see it tomorrow, is the 22-year-old Barolo cask finish here. So these were both offered. And in my second video, I'll compare the two with each other. All right, so what do we have here? Give it a little bit of time to breathe in the glass here. Now, distilled in February of 1999, the spirit was matured initially in refill Ex-Bourbon hogsheads. Nothing special there. And then the spirit was recasked, so put in different casks, into fresh Oloroso Sherry butts on the 25th of April 2007. The bottle is from 2 of those butts, and bottling took place on the 25th of August 2021. So 14 years of a finish here. Okay, 15 years is what it says here. So first the Ex-Bourbon, and then 15 years here. Wow. Don't get the 15. I get the 14, though. All right, it's 14 years. Someone wrote on Whiskybase 15. All right, so that yields 1,351 bottles. 0.7, 328. Whiskybase 196985. All right, so the color, this is a tiny little bit more red, but it is a very deep, dark color here, all right? So, all right, I just put a tiny little bit in here of this because I remember how it tastes, because I just did a video about it in Germany. All right, so on the nose. Now, what I would really need here, which I don't have at the moment, is Edradour straight from the cask. There are some sherry bombs out there from Edradour that are less than, about a third of this price. I think you get them under 100 euros, but none of them are 22 years old. And so this is the only one that I have 22 years old. This is 27, so I thought it was a worthy opponent. This is fantastic. I get that Edradour moment. Imagine you have the 10-year-old from Edradour, and that's on steroids. It's just so good. Oh, I love this. This is so good. I literally love this. Very, very nice. Now I'm going to just coat the sides of the glass here real quick. And the first thing I get is alcohol. Now this has a tiny little bit more with its 50, no, it has less, it has 54.2. We have 55.8. Oh, by the way, what I'm getting here is I'm getting plums and blackberries with a nice vanilla wood bourbon note here. Yum, yum, yum. Over here, it's a little plasticky, a little bit of plastics, a little bit like a Play-Doh type of petrochemical moment going on here. I do get a dark chocolate and a plum moment. This is good, don't get me wrong, but this is great. This is excellent, and this is all right. This is going to be an A whiskey. All right, gonna have to retest it here to go for an A plus, A minus, or solid A. This is a scratching on the B moment. It's not automatically B yet. And usually single casks here are often automatically a B or even an A in my book. This is just working its way there. All right, good. Let's try this. Our 55.8%. I love the 15-year-old finish here. So it actually spent more time. It was 8 years in Ex-Bourbon and 14 years in the yeah, that makes 22. The 14 years in the sherry. So the finish was longer than the original maturation, which I just find fantastic. Cheers. Mm. Mm. And now breathe in. It's been so long since I've had a whiskey where I can just breathe in and just inhale that flavor again and just fall in love with it a second and third time. This is good stuff. This is a solid A in my book. It's scratching on the A plus. I don't know why I'm not giving it an A plus, but it's an A. All right, so according to the official tasting notes, it says here, the whiskey is rich mahogany in color, agree. Sugared almonds, toffee, raisins, and nutmeg spices from the Oloroso casks complement the subtle traces of coconut, which I don't get, apple, which I don't get, vanilla from the initial ex-bourbons, do get that, cask maturation. A complex dram, which is very rich and expansive on the palate with a long warming finish. Now, I've talked the whole time, and it's still going on in my palate. This is one of the, I mean, this is a fantastic finish as well. It just lingers on and lingers on and lingers on, and it's just like, this is so good. And it's got a viscosity to it. And it's 55.8%, and it drinks just beautifully. This is what I want when I want a excellent, expensive whiskey. If I were to give a bottle of whiskey to a diplomat, to a politician, to a world leader, let's call him that, yeah, to someone maybe who is a mover and shaker in the world, this is the bottle that I would gift them and say, hey, this is what single malt Scotch should taste like. Try it, enjoy it, and that's it. All right. This, on the other hand, it's still there. I don't want to actually cleanse my palate. It's so good. For the love of science. This, on the other hand, this just blows this out of the water completely. This has so much more aroma, so much more body, so much complexity. And this is kind of, it's there, it's good, but this is wow. Nothing to write home about. It's good. It's going to be a B minus. The 27 years old, the only thing that really bothers me is that a little bit of that plasticine, that little bit of Play-Doh moment in the taste. The flavor profile as a finish is not exciting me. It's there. It's got a little bit of plum. It's got a little bit of a dark chocolate moment going on there. But that blackberry that's involved in here, and that it's a different type of plum, a little bit brighter, a little bit more, and that vanilla from those original casks, just superb. This good, this out of this world. As I said, B minus. I will do a review on this one day. I'll have something else to compare it to. Don't worry, it will come. But this is just so great. Now, I have a little bit of my problem with the value for money proposition here. Now, just recently I did a online tasting with a local dealer here, a local whiskey shop. He's about an hour away from where I live. He has his own shop. He has his own online shop. He's in the German world. Marco Bonn. He has the Dream of Scotland. That's his range of whiskeys, and they're known around the world. He does great work, and he actually and we did with Michael from the Whiskey Druid here from Scotch Universe, also known around the world, also an independent bottler here from Germany. The two of them with me, we did a tasting, and it was the most expensive tasting I've ever done online. And they had a bottle in there that was 500 euros. It's just like, you can't do that to me, Marco. It's way too expensive. He says, Jason, it's the best whiskey I had of the year. I'm not going to discuss it. We're going to do it. All right, good. And of course, that one in the evening, everyone liked it. And I just said, I can't recommend a bottle that costs more than 150 euros. I just can't. It's just that return on investment is just not worth it. And yet I have a 320 euro bottle here that I'm going to recommend. I'm going to give it a C minus. So in my book, A is why haven't you bought it? B, buy it. C, you can buy it if you want to. D, you don't need to buy it. And F, why was the stuff even made? And so this is, you can buy it if you want to. Now, I know most of us do not have deep enough pockets to go out and buy a 320 euro bottle. Just not something we can do. Maybe, as I said, for a gift for someone who's very important one day, but other than that, we don't do it normally. And yet, I would recommend if you do see this bottle for an okay price, buy it. It's good. This is probably this beginning of the year, this is going to go on my top 10 list of 2022. This stuff is so delicious. I just want to sniff. I just want to nip, and I just want to enjoy this whiskey. This is so good. This is the old school sherry that I just love. This is how whiskey should always be if it was up to me. At least the sherry brands here. One last time. Sometimes whiskeys are so good, I don't even want to swallow. I just kind of want them to dissolve in my mouth, that it just absorbs it. And once again, this moment of bliss. All right, A plus, A whiskey. I don't care. Fabulous. C minus, unfortunately, for value for money. If you can afford it, yes, go for it if you can find it. I do think it's a European exclusive only. So I've only seen it here in shops in the UK. The Whiskey Exchange has it for a very cheap price for £280. Buy it. It's in Netherlands, and it's in Germany and a couple places here. Wow, it's good. So my question of the day is, we have the GlenDronach single casks, 20 plus years of age. Which whiskeys would be your GlenDronach killer? Yeah, which whiskey is at least, let's say, half the price and normal, didn't qualify, sorry, half the price and tastes even better than those single bottles here from GlenDronach 20 plus. What could you recommend? I'm very interested to hear what you have. Put down a price and brackets. That'd be great to see what we're looking at, and at least the price today, maybe the price you paid for back then. But that'd be excellent, interesting to see what we can find instead. All right, so there will be a second Edradour 22-year-old comparison head-to-head here with red wine versus sherry. I'm spoiled for choice sometimes. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, tell others. Don't forget to share the video, and see you very soon. Whiskey Jason here. Bye-bye.